Hello, 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 and welcome to the Ball and All a podcast. This is your weekly basketball podcast show, giving you all the news around the basketball world. In the NBA, we've started the NBA Finals, so I thought I'd give you a recap of Game 1, as well as, and I'll try to do that for all the other games coming through. My name is Mpho. If you don't know already, or if you're new to the channel, but remember, you can like and subscribe and follow me on all the various platforms outlined there in the banner below. The Game 1 of the NBA Finals is always an anticipated matchup. I think it's like the start of a heavyweight boxing match, the first round. You don't know how the fighters are going to start, what styles they're going to use. But we had something before the game even started with Giannis Antetokounmpo he went from 6 hours before the game, he went from doubtful to questionable. And then and questionable is like 50-50. Are you going to play? Are you not going to play? Then he moved from questionable to actually he's going to start. And to a certain extent, one must wonder why they did it. It kind of felt that the Bucks kind of realized that they couldn't necessarily steal a game with these two. But if Giannis is fit and available, sure, play him. And so the game went on, and Game 1 was all about CP3. It was a CP3 statement game. The Suns winning 118-105. CP3 scoring 32 points, 12 from 19 from the field. That's 63% for those who want the percentages. He scored 4 from 7 from 3. That was 58%. And it was 100% from free throws. He had 4 free throws. In his debut game in NBA Finals, he matched Michael Jordan's record of 30 points and 8 assists in a finals debut that Michael Jordan did in 1991. That's how great CP3 was. And all the CP3 Finals MVP fans, yeah, stand up, stand up, stand up. I went Devin Booker for Finals MVP, but CP3, I wouldn't mind. It was beautiful to watch. And the key thing about this was the Bucks came out as the best defensive team of these two teams. And CP3 and the Suns just picked them apart. So the big thing throughout the Western Conference run for the Suns was the pick and roll offense. Booker and CP3 get into the pick and rolls, get 8 and some touches. They run into the mid range or they drive to the basket. And so what the Bucks then decided was, no, we're going to switch. We've seen pick and roll offense with Trae Young. We're going to switch everything and try and get them as confused as Trae Young was towards the back end of that Atlanta series. That didn't work. All it did was it got CP3 picking matchups. He fetched Bobby Portis. He fetched Brook Lopez to a point where Brook was fouled him on a 4-point play in the second half, and you were like, but dude, what are you doing? But that's what it was. They were very high on him. They were very high on the 3-point line, and they were switching everything, and it just didn't work out. And this was fun because Bud was making changes. He was making adjustments, the adjustments we wanted him to make. And so that's the second part about this, was that then they went to the drop coverage. That's what the Bucks ended up doing. And then the Bucks in the third quarter were just being taken apart by Booker driving through the lane and getting to his spots in the mid-range. CP3 doing the same thing. But the thing about the Suns win was that the role players came through on a night where Devin Booker wasn't shooting well. He shot 8 from 21 from the field. That's about 38%. He shot 1 from 8 from 3. But the most important thing, Devin Booker's aggression can be shown in that free throw stat line. He went to the free throw 10 times. Giannis went to the free throw 10 times, which is coincidental. And he scored all 10. They held the record for the most free throws without a miss in an NBA Finals game. It was 25 free throws without a miss until Jay Crowder missed his second one with the last free throw of the game. But the role players, Cam Payne, Cam Johnson, 10 points each, clutch 3-point shots to stop the Bucks from running away with it. Mikal Bridges, 14 points. That, for me, was what encompassed this whole Suns thing. They may not have, in the top 5 players in the series, they may only have 2 in Booker and CP3. But from Ayton, Johnson, Payne, Bridges, and even Crowder, they have the next set of best players in the series, and it was shown tonight. The big issue with the Bucks, and I'm going to move over to the BoxQuery quickly, is that obviously the defense needs a little bit of tweaking. The pick and roll didn't work. They made various adjustments. They even moved Giannis to the 5, which is, I think, what we all want to see, especially with this Phoenix Suns team, because this Phoenix Suns team is not going to be beaten by a team with a massive center. They're going to be beaten by a team with wings. And I think that's where the problem is that the Suns have better wings. That Clippers matchup was actually much more of a tougher matchup for the Suns, I think, because of the way in which the Clippers played the Suns with small ball, and you try to do it all, try get Ayton in trouble, try get Ayton ineffective, but Ayton became effective in that series, and he figured out how to play the 5. And essentially, what I was worried about yesterday was having Ayton and Crowder on Brook and Giannis. That was effectively nullified in game 1 because Crowder did a good job on Giannis when he was on him. Brook Lopez was a liability on defense because he was being pulled into screen and roll. So even if on the other end you may be punishing them, you're losing points. By the time I think Brook Lopez left the court, he had 11 possessions where he was isolated by a Suns guard, either Chris Paul or Devin Booker. 11 possessions. In those 11 possessions, the Suns scored 20 points. That is a telling stat as to what the Suns were doing to Brook Lopez, and it kind of then nullified his effect on the offensive end. He was just stuck on the 3-point line. He's a good 3-point shooter, and he slotted them in, but he wasn't as dominant in the paint offensively as you would have wanted him to. So Bud then took him out for the final about 16 minutes of the game, and Giannis was playing the 5. Bobby Portis played the 5 for like 4 minutes, and it didn't work. Then Giannis played the 5 throughout the fourth quarter. It was a lot better because it then got them running, and got them that run from 20 points deficit to about 7-point deficit. Then Booker with only 3 of his game, pushing them back away. So that was something that Bud could work on and build on. The question then in that starting 5 is, what are the roles for PJ Tucker, and to a certain extent, who's the other guy, Brook Lopez or Bobby Portis or Pat Connaughton in those lineups offensively, because the Suns are hiding CP3 on PJ Tucker. You need to find a way to bring CP3 back into some sort of a screen to try to get a mismatch going, because PJ Tucker, all PJ Tucker has known for the past 2 years is sitting on the corner 3 and shooting. They need to find a way to do that. But the most important thing I think from defensively is that Giannis actually was the only player from the Bucks with Pat Connaughton to register a positive plus minus. Everyone else was negative plus minus and was double-digit plus minuses, which kind of shows you what's going on. Drew Holiday had a bad game, 4 of 14 for his 10 points. Chris Middleton had a very good game, but it can't just be Chris. Somebody else needs to help him. Giannis tried to help him with 20 points off 11 shots. His free throw shooting is at 60%, which is, I'll take that. 58%, I'll take that. There's nothing more you can do. Rebounding was there, 17 rebounds, but he still, I think you could see that he's coming back from injury, and you can see defensively he didn't want to go at it as hard as he normally does. But that's what the Bucks need. They need that aggression, and that aggression comes with Lopez and Giannis. And I think maybe quarter 1 of game 2 is going to be very telling, because they need to assert their dominance on the Suns if the Suns are going to run away with it. The Suns were 9-1. Coming out after the first quarter with a lead in this playoff series. That's a telling stat, and it carried on. So now they're 10-1. So that's something that the Bucks are the best team in these playoffs in the first quarter. They're plus 15 in the first quarter. So they need to try and get the steam rolling, the train rolling as quickly as possible. I don't know how Bud's going to work out Drew Holiday, but to me, if I was Bud, I'd tell Drew Holiday that focus on your defense. First and foremost, do not let CP3, or if it's Devin Booker, switch on you. Do not switch on them. Fight over the screens. They did that during that run where they were making with Giannis at the 5 in the beginning of the fourth quarter, where they was climbing over screens or trying to get to the ball handler. They need to do that a little bit more. But I was happy that Bud was making adjustments. I just felt that Giannis at the 5 was a little bit too late. I don't know how it holds up with Giannis's injury. The thing about the Suns, though, I thought the Bucks may have had the Suns because Dario Saric was out for like most of the games. Ayton played 39 minutes. He normally doesn't play 39 minutes, but he had to because of the fact that Saric was unavailable. They tried Frank Kaminsky for like 2 minutes. It didn't work. They put him back to posture. But the great thing for the Suns is Ayton is comfortable in a small ball lineup. But obviously, if you have a guy like Giannis as your small ball 5, that's fine. But they tried it with Bobby Portis, a shorter, small ball guard a small ball wing who can, or center who can shoot, and he felt at home. He got his 20 points, 22 points and 19 rebounds, the first to do that since I think Lou Alcindor. When the Bucks were in the finals on debut. So that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for those who do not know. So I'm excited for this series. I think the Suns have the better team. They're much deeper than the Bucks, and it's going to take a lot for the Bucks to defeat them. But it is possible because you need Giannis to try. And if Giannis can score 30 points per game and Middleton can give you about 25, then you can piece it together a little bit better. I think the deficit kind of tells you that they were 10 points short. It was largely, you could say it was largely free throws, but it was just the way in which CP3 just handled this game. They played at his pace. He carved them up. He got to the foul line. He got other people touches. It was a point guard masterclass. And congratulations, CP3. The finals were made for you. Just unfortunate that the league conspired against you, because we would have seen this with Kobe and you in the finals and created a dynasty. Maybe this is why David Stern didn't want this, because this is what we would have seen. It took you 16 years to finally get to the finals, and what a performance. What a performance. And the great thing about Devin Booker was he wasn't shooting well, but he still was aggressive. And the Suns team will kill you. They are like, it looks like it's a coaching mismatch, or because they just, whatever the Bucks threw at them, Monty and CP3 just had them. It's like CP3 is like a computer on there. It's on the court. It's amazing. But yeah, so that's it. Game 2 is coming up in a few days, and I'll be talking about that after Game 2. I'll recap that. But most importantly, there's some WNBA games happening in between, and then some scrimmages. If you can catch some scrimmages, Team USA is having a little bit of a 5-team tournament with Australia and Nigeria. I don't know what other team is in the US right now, and so they're doing some scrimmages. Team USA has obviously got 9 players. Oh, there's a USA select team with a lot of rookies there, so do catch that today. I'll try catch that as well to see how the guys are looking for the Olympics. But yeah, outside of that, please do follow me on Twitter, Mpho. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Ball and All channel, and like the video as well. Thank you very much. This is your Game 1 recap of the NBA Finals. Until next time, or Game 2 when we do the Game 2 recap, le sale, kakahiso.